Strength Warehouse presents Go Heavy or Go Home podcast. I am your host, Nate Boley. In this podcast, we talk about strength, fitness, nutrition, and all things Strength Warehouse related. Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast. Today we have Coach Luke on again, and we're just going to chat about his experience with Strength Warehouse here, the Outlaw Open that he competed in, and had a lifter in there as well. So what's up, Luke?
Hey, how's it going?
Introduce yourself again.
Hey, it's me, Coach Luke, reporting live from Strength Warehouse.
Reporting live, I like that one. Right on, man. Well, has it been a year yet?
Not quite. I think we're at the 9-month mark here.
Nice. How's it been so far?
It's been a great experience.
Yeah.
Overall, honestly, I think back a lot about when I first came in. I was like, I'll just clean for you.
Yeah.
I just want to work here.
Yeah.
And you offered me the coaching position, and slowly have kind of worked my way into, a full-time coach here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. How's that been going? Now you have a few one-on-one clients.
Yeah.
You've been coaching some classes for us in the evening time, and substituting on classes when people need time off or whatever. Yeah. What's the most fun you've had in that respect?
I know in the past, I think on here I said that I prefer the one-on-one training just because you get to really, really build that relationship. But as I've been covering more and more classes and now have the 3 that I'm coaching consistently, I'd say that it's kind of a 50-50 split now. I don't know if I can really pick a favorite.
Okay.
Because I really like the high energy that the classes bring. It's a good way to break up my emotional monotony, you could call it, where it's just private client. It's just chatting. And then, boom, a whole bunch of energy with the class. It really gets me going so I can get everybody else going. And it's a good feeling.
Yeah, you bring a lot of good energy to the gym and the classes, so we appreciate that for sure. I was just talking about that with one of our interns, Jason, kind of getting an idea of where he was trying to think if he wanted more one-on-one class or one-on-one coaching or classes. And I was just trying to give him a layout of what there's differences in them. Mm-hmm. And you kind of laid that out a little bit. When you have client after client after client of one-on-ones, you have to bring a ton of energy and a ton of conversation to fill in the gaps, because you can't just let the air get stale, right?
Yeah.
And so that can, by the end of the day, if you've had 6, 8, 10 clients, you don't want to talk anymore.
No, the social battery is drained.
Just done, right? You know, don't talk to me, I'm just done. And then you go into the class, and you still have to bring some energy, but you share that energy with everybody else in the class.
Definitely. It's almost like my job at the beginning is to just break the ice. Yeah. And that's about all the conversation that I really have to start.
Yep.
I'll just make some joke at the beginning or ask some kind of weird question, and one person, that's all it takes to answer one person, and all of a sudden, boom, everyone's talking.
Yep.
Super easy, flow through a class like nothing. All I got to do is just pause the music and be like, all right, no, this is what we're moving on to next,
sure.
blah, blah, blah. Point out stuff here and there that I see. And
the hour is much less intensive for you.
Definitely.
Yeah, and you're not having to keep the eye on the person the whole time and keep have the plan going and all that type of stuff. And I get it. I love my one-on-ones as well. And when I do coach a class, I do enjoy the class camaraderie and
definitely
being in there and having the energy of multiple people and all that type of stuff. So well, cool. Yeah, it's not. One's better than the other. It's just a difference.
Definitely. Yeah. It's good to have that variety in the day.
Yeah, for sure. It definitely takes a special person to be able to do a class. You can't just throw anybody in there. You got to be able to break the ice. You got to be able to keep the flow going eventually if they need to. But it's one of those things where it's just a different thing.
Definitely.
We got some good feedback on your coaching and stuff like that, so we're pretty happy to have you in the class.
Awesome. I'm glad. Yeah. I haven't really gotten any I've gotten some direct feedback from the people who come to my classes, but that's good to hear. That
they're Luke, you suck.
No, they're all hey, it's really nice to have you coaching the classes now and everything, and kind of getting more involved in the community aspect of the gym, because that is some piece you miss, or at least I was missing a large chunk of it, just doing the one-on-ones for a while there, and then occasionally covering. There was a bit of a divide between me and not all, but a lot of the members, just because they didn't really know anything about me or kind of who I was, just because they'd see me in passing, but never would like see what I'm about, what I can do.
Yeah, absolutely. So now you get your opportunity to shine and show everybody what you're all about.
Yeah,
that's
cool. It's really fun.
Cool. Right on. Well, we can segue into the Outlaw Open, which is our annual powerlifting meet we do in the beginning of the year. Well, early spring, April-ish. It is a lot of fun. But this was your first powerlifting competition. You've competed in some CrossFit before.
Yes.
And now you did your first powerlifting meet. What was the biggest takeaway on I know CrossFit's fun and all that type of stuff, but was there a huge difference in between those two that you saw that was like, I like this better or I like this not as much?
Yeah. I like the powerlifting meet more, like hands down. The environment was much better.
Yeah.
In both aspects, like the CrossFit competition and a powerlifting meet, they are both competitions, of course, so you are trying to beat those around you. But in a CrossFit competition, or at least the ones that I've been to, there's not a lot of camaraderie among competitors. Yeah. It's like very much me versus you. I hope you don't do well, so I don't have to perform to beat you.
Yeah.
But there was none of that at the powerlifting meet. Like
100%.
People who were head to head competing for like first place in certain weight and age classes, like right there cheering each other on. Most of the time it was like that guy was cheering for his direct competitor the loudest.
100%.
And out there like at the platform, like get it up, helping him with the cues. That sense of community and like oneness, and like, yes, we're all here to compete, but we're also more so just competing against ourselves.
Yep.
I really, really appreciated that.
Yeah.
That was a really cool feeling.
I have talked about that several times. So one of my direct competitors, name's Rick. He's a good friend of mine now. I met him like last year, and I saw him on the roster, and I was like, who's this guy? So I went up and creeped his social media, and I was like, oh man, this guy's way stronger than me. He's gonna beat me. I ended up beating him by 1 pound because strategically I beat him on the platform. But weights wise, if he could have just done his gym lifts, he would have beat me hands down. But I strategically took some different jumps, and I've been doing the game for quite a bit more time than he has. But great guy, and him and I were both like, help each other out. Exactly like you said. Like I'm on he was going for his squats, and I'm out there yelling for him, and I'm out there doing my deadlifts, and he's yelling for me, and all that type of stuff. And it's just such a great community. It was fun to win, but then he came back in November and destroyed me. And I was up, I was cheering him on the whole time. Yeah. That just makes me want to do better.
No, for sure. It was a really unique experience.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
So, did you perform like you wanted to?
No, not at all. I was a bit upset with myself about squat and bench press and even deadlift. I probably could have taken bigger jumps on deadlift, but yeah, numbers weren't quite what I knew I could have hit.
Sure.
Like my bench press, I failed 205 twice, and I hit it the day before the meet. Like paused like nothing. I don't know what caused it.
Well, first of all, why the heck are you taking 205 the day before the meet?
That's fair. Okay. That is very fair. Yeah, I wasn't super thrilled with how I did numbers-wise, but still I think it was a great experience. I had a ton of fun being there. It was a long day for sure, but it was very much worth it. Biggest takeaway, I think, is don't compete in the same meet that I'm coaching in.
I have told you that, but actually I didn't tell you that, but I told you afterwards that I've done that before, and it is really hard because you can't focus on yourself. Yeah, you always have your client in the back of your head because you want them to do really well.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And in this case, it being his first meet as well as mine, and it was my first time coaching someone through a meet, I was more so focused on him. I was like, pushed myself to the side and was like, he was my full focus. And warm-ups, I was more focused on him warming up, finding the right flow numbers, and we were lifting in the same flight. I was thinking more about his jumps than mine. And I'm totally happy with doing that. Cool. I'm glad I did that. Yeah. Because he was my priority. He's my client.
Yep. I've done that same thing. Yeah. And then you're kind of upset with yourself performance wise, but you did it for the specific in the right reasons.
Definitely.
One good thing that you had was you guys were in the same flight. So there's a lot of times where I've coached somebody and we're in completely different flights, and so when I'm warming up, you're supposed to be on the platform or vice versa. Yeah. And it's just not a good situation. So that was a very good thing for your first time.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. If you was warming up and you weren't trying to get on the platform,
oh gosh,
like, hold on, don't take that rep. I gotta go on the platform. That's not cool. Yeah, it's just not cool.
That would suck.
But yeah, and how did your client do?
He did amazing. His goal was to total over 1,000 pounds. That was his goal, and even coming into the gym originally. He had no intentions of competing. I worked my magic and convinced him. After we saw just how strong he was, I think he surprised himself after the first 4 months of our training.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I can move some serious weight here.
He is a strong dude.
Yeah, he is. But he totaled 1,036.8 pounds.
That's good.
And yeah, so he broke his goal. We're transitioning into a little bit different type of training right now.
Okay.
He's training for a running race.
Okay.
Wants to work on his speed, but we're definitely not letting that strength training slow down.
Good.
Yeah.
Just taking a different approach for it.
Yeah, a bit more focused on the explosiveness.
Cool. When's his competition for that?
I believe it's the end of June.
Oh, so it's coming up really quick.
Yeah, it's pretty quick turnaround, so we don't have a ton of time to really get him into peak performance for it, but it's not a solo event, it's a team race. So
cool.
He's like, I just want to be the fast one for the short distances to catch us up.
And he's got good GPP already, so he's he's already physically prepared, So
definitely.
It's not like he's just from couch to 5K.
No, not at all. No, he's very ready. He could go out and do it tomorrow and do just fine. Yeah. So
cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Do you know if he has any future plans on competing more powerlifting, or he just wanted to do it kind of a one time? And
I think he will end up doing another one. I think he told me he really enjoyed it. He definitely said he's like, I gotta plan better for it because with his kids and his wife, it was like I don't think he thought it was going to be quite as long as it was.
Sure.
He knew it was going to be an all day thing.
Yeah.
Not quite that all day.
Yeah.
But I definitely can see him competing in the future.
Literally all day. It just depends on the meet. So when I went to a meet 2 weekends ago now.
Yeah.
And we were done by 12:45.
No way. What time did you start?
We started at 9. They all started at 9.
What?
Yeah, because there was
that
only
fast?
it was 2 flights of 10. So 20 people. It was a drug tested event, so there was a lot lighter weights. There's a lot of kids, so there's very light weights. So the spotting loading was very fast,
pretty quick,
very fast. There were some serious lifters at ours at the Outlaw Open. There was 600-pound squats, opening squats, 500-pound benches, 700-pound deadlifts. None of that stuff happened at this non-tested meet. It was just a local. It was a great meet. Nothing wrong with it. It just had a lot lighter people, and there was less people involved.
Yeah, that definitely speeds things up.
And it speeds things up a lot.
Yeah, because there were 60 people plus?
56 was what we ended up with.
56,
Yeah,
okay.
56 people. And 60 is a full meet.
That's what I thought, yeah. I know we were pretty close to full on it, because, I've never seen 4 flights in a lift like that, or a meet like that.
Yeah. Those are typical. That's what you want. You want a 4-flight meet, but it makes it for a really long day.
Yeah.
Absolutely. By the time you're done, especially meet directors setting up and tearing down and all that stuff. I was there from 5 in the morning till 7 at night.
Oh yeah, it's not even a one-day thing for you. You got all the setup and everything, the weigh-ins, all of it, and you're checking the gear, doing the weigh-ins. I helped out with the setting the rack heights, but
it's a 3-day,
it's a lot.
3-day thing for sure. And then you had to come back Monday and go grab all the chairs and take it back to the rental store. It's one of those things you do for the sport because you love it.
Yeah.
Great, man. Well, what's your thoughts on your next competition or career lifting, or what's in sights for Luke?
I definitely want to do another one. I don't know if Summer Strength Wars is necessarily in the books, just because it is going to be a pretty quick turnaround.
Yeah.
And I do have this bodybuilding competition that is now actually in October. It's a couple months sooner than I was expecting initially, but the location and timing of it works better for the little I guess you could call us a little team that's going out there to do it together.
Where's it at? I didn't know. I guess I forgot that you were doing that.
Yeah, so it's in Boise, Idaho. Now, we were originally going to go up to Spokane, Washington to do it, but the drive to Boise is about an hour and a half less, which is great because we can all save money on gas, and it'll be a little bit cheaper for us to find a place to stay out there. And the timing of it just works out better for everybody. We all kind of start our prep around the same time.
Is everybody driving in one car?
Yeah, we're all going to try to...
Dude, you guys are going to be stage ready.
Yeah.
Driving in one car.
It's going to be brutal.
Dude, it's going to be brutal.
Yeah, the tempers are going to flare. Everyone's going to be exhausted, crabby, hangry, you name it.
Protein farts.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty brutal. But it'll be a good time, I think. I think it'll be a really good experience.
Right on, man. Well, that's awesome. I didn't realize that. I guess I forgot that you had done that But yeah, did Tiara do your prep nutrition on that?
Yeah, she's going to be helping me out with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know she did a little bit of your nutrition just recently. What was your experience with that nutrition, like the macros and stuff like that?
She knows what the hell she's doing.
I know
I'll say that.
She's very passionate about what she's doing.
Yeah, it was crazy. I know a little bit about nutrition. I'm not certified or anything like that, but I do enjoy the inner workings of it. I think it's interesting. So I've always been able to get myself like lean and then bulk up and then lean out. But having those like set exact macros, finding my maintenance calorie like to a T was a crazy helpful experience, because now I know my baseline. Now I know where I need to adjust numbers, and then also having someone just tell me, eat this much protein, this many carbs, this many fats.
Yeah.
Made it
super easy.
Very easy to track. Now, getting the foods and everything and like weighing everything out is definitely a pain in the ass, but I think it's worth it.
Yeah, for sure. The thing is, what you just said, like now you know where like your baseline is. That's all. It is good and well to know where your baseline is. Mm-hmm. It changes.
Oh, 100%.
And that's the problem. It's like a moving target, because depending on how much you're like exercising, depending on age, depending on how much muscle mass you have, all that type of stuff, stress related, can really just make the baseline target move. And so you have to, every time you go do, and every prep is different. It's a different prep every single time. Same thing with powerlifting. It's like every prep is different. You just got to roll with the punches on it a little bit. But yeah, man, it sounds like you're going kind of all over the place in like the fitness physique world right now.
Yeah, I'm just trying stuff out, trying to find what suits me best, what I can really get into the most, honestly. Because I really enjoyed the powerlifting. The prep for the meet, the training style was very different, much more targeted training for specific lifts that I've never really done before.
Sure.
I've always wanted to get stronger in the gym, but I've never been like, all right, my squat needs to improve by this number, and I'm gonna focus on this part, like range of motion in the lift where I struggle the most. And like I've never gotten that ultra specific into each of my movements and identified the exact weak points and which muscle isn't working like optimally and all that stuff.
You can go down the rabbit hole for sure. Days and days and years. I've been doing it since 2009.
Oh yeah.
And that's why I hired a coach, because I got so sick of doing it after a while. I was like, you know how you get like super excited about something and you're like, I just want to dive into every rabbit hole I can.
Yep.
And then pretty soon you're like, well, I just want somebody to show me how to do it so I can just get to where I want to go.
Yeah.
And I did that about 4 years ago, and I made huge gains in what I was doing. So, I mean, at this point in my life where I'm super busy, just like got kids, got family, got the business. I don't have time to like jump down that rabbit hole.
For sure.
Specifically for powerlifting anymore. So it just works out to have that extra, helping hand and stuff like that. And,
definitely.
Well,
I mean, even on that note, like I think we only worked out together 3 times on deadlifts, but like within those 3 sessions, you honed in my form, and it made a world of difference.
Yep, absolutely.
I was able to, I PR'd like 3 times in the span of after we worked together those 3 times leading up to the meet. They weren't like small PRs either.
Big ones. Yeah,
I had like got stuck at 405, and I pulled, I think it was like 420.8 on the platform.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I was like, all right, that was pretty sweet. I definitely could have done a little bit more.
The small tweaks can over time create a big gain in what you're doing, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. Right on, man. Well, I do got to get off here. You have any other things you want to chat about, or anything you want to say to the listeners?
Lift heavy things.
There you
That's
go.
all I got. It's a lot of
heavy
fun.
or go home.
Yeah, you named it.
Right on, Luke. Well, hey, thanks for coming on the podcast again. And dude, I want to have you back on after the bodybuilding meet.
Yes.
Or bodybuilding show, I should say. It's not called a meet. Bodybuilding show. I have done prep for bodybuilding. I could never get myself on the stage. I just didn't like. Are you doing classic physique or full bodybuilding?
We're not sure yet. I think we're going to see once I diet down a little bit more what my true physique is looking like right now.
Sure. I think it's easier. Back when I was going to do it, they only had bodybuilding. They didn't have like the classic shorts or whatever.
Yeah.
So I was like, dude, Speedo. Nope, not doing it.
It's a little. It's an interesting.
It's an interesting thing. Yeah. So hey, I mean, if you want to do it, that's cool for you. It's just not for me.
Fair enough.
Yeah, exactly. But right on. All right, guys. Well, hey, thanks a lot for joining us on this podcast, and I'm going to leave you with the way I leave you every single time, and that is: success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts, and everything you want in life is on the other side of your fear. So go out there and take some action.
Thanks for joining us on this epic journey of strength. If you liked this episode, please leave us a review and share with a friend. To stay connected, hit that subscribe button. All right, until next time, go heavy or go home.